Hi, and welcome to your heart opening yoga flow. We'll begin lying down on our back. So come to lie down on your mat. When you arrive, draw your knees in towards your chest. And then option to find a reclined butterfly pose. By bringing the soles of your feet together to touch, let your knees fall out wide. Close off your eyes. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Feel the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe in and out. Begin to draw awareness to your heart center. Feel the beating of your heart under your palm. Take a moment to say a few kind words to yourself today. Give yourself gratitude for showing up on your mat. As we cultivate self-love through our practice, I offer up the mantra, when I choose love, I am love. Take 3 deep cleansing rounds of breath and feel that love pouring out of your being. Begin to draw your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze and find a gentle rock side to side, massaging your lower back. When you're ready, place your hands on the backs of your thighs and find a gentle rock and roll up and down the length of your mat, massaging your spine. Find this about 3 times, and then on the 3rd time, cross your feet at the top, coming to a comfortable seat on your mat. Placing one foot in front of the other, come to sit tall in your spine. Take a big shoulder roll back once you arrive. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears and then down your back. Bring your palms behind you on your mat, fingertips facing away from you towards the back of your mat. We'll find a heart opener here. Begin to lift your chest up towards the sky. Take your gaze up. And then option to drop your head back if this feels comfortable in your neck to open up even further. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your head back over your heart. And then find a rounding through your back. Place both hands on your knees. Draw your chin towards your chest just to counterbalance that big heart opener. Begin to make your way onto hands and knees, tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. We'll find a few rounds of cat-cow, moving with our breath. As you inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, cat, dome through your back. Inhale, cow, as you drop your belly. Exhale, cat, dome through your back. Inhale, lift your chest, drop your belly. Exhale, take your gaze to your belly button and dome through your back. Find breath to movement, moving at your own pace, filling out any other movements that may be calling to you. Take 2 more rounds here. As you come to find a neutral tabletop, plant your left palm down into your mat. As you inhale, reach your right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, send your right arm underneath your left. Fingertips reach off of your mat. An option to walk your left fingertips up towards the top of your space to find more length through your side body. Another option is to find a bind, reaching that left arm behind your back. Fingertips reach for your right thigh crease. Try to keep your hips stacked over your knees and breathe deeply into this twist. If you have the bind behind your back, begin to release and plant that left palm back down on your mat. As you inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, make your way back into tabletop. We'll take that on the other side. Right palm plants this time. Inhale, reach your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, send your left arm under your right. Option to crawl those right fingertips up towards the top of your space to find more length on your side body. Or option to take that bind behind your back. Right fingertips reach for your left thigh crease. Breathe deeply wherever you land. If you have the bind behind your back, begin to release. Place that right palm down on your mat as you inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, tabletop pose. Wiggle your hips side to side to reset your spine. Come back to a neutral tabletop and begin to extend your right leg out long behind you, hovering above the mat. Try to draw your right hip down in line with your left. Draw your navel in towards your spine to engage your core. Begin to float your left arm out long, floating above the mat towards the top of your space. So opposite arm, opposite leg is lifted and hovering. Feel that connection to your center. A little bit of a balance challenge here. Maybe you stay here today, or if you'd like to try a heart opener, begin to bend into your back leg. As you sweep your left hand back, grab hold of your right foot. Begin to kick your foot into your hand. Take your gaze forward. Keep your knee drawn into midline to avoid splaying out to the side. Inhale, breathe in. As you exhale, begin to release. Make your way back into your tabletop pose. Nice job. Wiggle your hips side to side to reset your spine. And we'll find that on the other side. So begin to extend your left leg out long behind you, hovering above the mat. Drop your left hip down in line with your right. Flex your back toes. Draw your navel into your spine to engage your core. And then begin to float your right fingertips out long in front of you. Opposite arm and opposite leg is lifted. Feel that connection to your core. An option to stay here today, or if you'd like to find a heart opener, begin to bend into your back leg. Sweep your right hand back and grab hold of your left foot. So begin to kick your left foot into your right hand to find that heart opener. Keep your knee drawn into your midline to avoid falling out to the side. Stay lifted into your chest. Inhale. And as you exhale, make your way back into your tabletop pose. Beautiful work. Wiggle those hips side to side. And then bring your big toes to touch and your knees as wide as comfortable. Melt your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Walk your hands out long in front of you. Come back to your breath. Come back to our mantra for our practice today. When I choose love, I am love. Begin to make your way back into tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Tuck your back toes under. Walk your hands out a little bit further in front of you as you lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Walk out your dog, bending into one knee as you straighten through the other. Just find what feels good for you. Shake your head no, and then yes. Release some tension from your neck. Find stillness in your downward facing dog. Take your gaze forward and then walk your feet to meet your hands, coming into a forward fold. Keep your feet about hip width distance apart. Find a generous bend in your knees. Grab opposite elbows with opposite hands and find a gentle sway side to side. Bring your fingertips to the mat, toe heel your feet together to touch, and slowly rise up to stand, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae. Let your head and neck arrive last. As you arrive, bring your hands through heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come back down to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, find a baby back bend. Cactus out your arms as you shine your heart forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, cactus out your arms. Reach that heart forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your waist, fold in half. As you inhale, halfway lift, bring your fingertips to your shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. Bring your palms to the mat, step your feet back into plank. Always know you can drop down onto your knees here if needed. As you inhale, shift forward on your toes. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, untuck your toes. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Place your hands under your shoulders, zip your elbows in towards your ribs. Lift your chest up, baby cobra. Find this gentle back bend. Barely any weight is in your hands. Maybe you flutter your palms up off of the earth. Inhale. As you exhale, make your way back into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. And then bend into your right knee. Stack your hips, scorpion dog. Option to find circles with your right knee to the right. And then draw circles to the left. Nice job. Find that three-legged dog. Extend your right leg. And then step your right foot between your hands, low lunge. Framing your right foot with both of your hands. Just find a small movement forward and back, waking up that left hip flexor. Right knee stays stacked over your right ankle. Find your alignment as you rise up into high crescent lunge. Lift your torso, reach your arms up overhead. Find a soft bend in your back knee. You can adjust your stance as needed here. And then we'll find a steeple grip. So interlace your hands overhead, keeping your index and thumbs free. Maybe you take your gaze up towards the sky. Shine your heart forward. Nice job. Release the clasp on your hands. Open up into warrior two. Tee out your arms. Reach your fingertips in opposite directions as you parallel your back foot towards the short edge of your mat. Gaze over your front fingertips. As you inhale, reverse warrior. Reach your right arm up and over and breathe. Back hand can come to rest on your back thigh. Open up your chest towards the sky. Gaze up. Come back into your warrior two. Tee out your arms. And then point both toes to face the long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet. And then interlace your hands behind your back. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Take a big inhale in. Lift your chest. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Hinge from your waist. Allow your knuckles to fall up and over. Pigeon toe your feet slightly to protect your knees. And breathe deeply into your hamstrings, finding any movement that may be calling to you. Release the clasp on your hands. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands back to the front of your space. Low lunge, frame your foot with your hands. And then step your right foot back into plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Zip your elbows in towards your ribs. Find cobra pose. Maybe you lift your chest a little bit higher this time. Try to float those palms up off of your mat. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, make your way back into your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Bend into your left knee, stack your hips, scorpion dog. Option to draw circles with your left knee to the right, and then reverse your circle to the left. Come back to your three-legged dog, extend your left leg, and then step your left foot between your hands, low lunge. Frame your foot with your hands. Find small movements forward and back, waking up your right hip flexor. Keep your left knee stacked directly above your left ankle. Find your alignment here, and then rise up into high crescent lunge. Lift your torso, reach your arms up overhead. Adjust your stance as needed here. And we'll find a steeple grip. Interlace your hands overhead. Keep your index and your thumb free. To lift up, open your chest. Take your gaze up. Beautiful. Release the steeple grip and open up into warrior two. Tee out your arms, reach your fingertips in opposite directions. Parallel your back foot towards the short edge of your mat. Gaze over your left fingertips. As you inhale, reverse warrior. Reach your left arm up and over. Find length through your left side body. Right palm can come to rest down on your right thigh. Breathe as you open your chest up towards the sky. Gaze up. Make your way back into warrior two, and then point your toes to both face the long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet. Interlace your hands behind your back. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. As you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Let your knuckles fall up and over. Breathing here. Perhaps finding any other movements that may be calling to you. Begin to release the clasp on your hands if you have it. Inhale, lift halfway, bring your fingertips to your mat. As you exhale, walk your hands back up to low lunge, frame your left foot. Then step your left foot back into plank, lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet into the mat. Reach your fingertips back towards your toes as you lift your chest up. And then option to float your feet up off of the mat too for locust pose. Really push your pubic bone into the mat to lift everything up. Beautiful. Release. Bring your palms back under your shoulders. And then send your hips back into child's pose. Big toes touch, knees as wide as comfortable. Melt your hips back towards your heels. Walk your fingertips out long in front of you. Rest your forehead down. Just here for a moment to reset. Begin to make your way back into a tabletop pose. And then come to stand on your knees. Bring your head over your heart. Then bring your palms onto your lower back, fingertips pointing down. Draw your elbows in towards your midline. Push your palms into your back. As you take your gaze up, find a back bend. Listen to your body today. Option to stay here, or maybe you let your fingertips come down onto your heels as you let your head drop back, only if this feels okay in your neck. Find your variation of camel pose. As you lift your heart, come back to your mantra of when I choose love, I am love. Bring your hands back to your lower back as you safely guide yourself back up. Head over your heart. Make your way back onto hands and knees, tabletop pose. Cross your ankles, come to a seat, and make your way down onto your back on your mat. So when you arrive lying on your back, draw your knees in towards your chest. Find a gentle rock side to side, massaging your lower back. Find legs up the wall, extend your feet up towards the sky, let your palms fall down onto your mat. Let your feet be inverted above your heart. Maybe you stay here today. Another option is to find shoulder stand. Lift your hips up, bring your hands to the small of your back, and try to stack your ankles, knees, and hips all in one line. And another option is to find plow pose by letting your toes fall behind your head. Interlace your hands and let them fall down on your mat. So stacking your hips over your shoulders. Listen to your body and find which pose serves you best today, and take 3 deep rounds of breath. If you are in plow pose, bring your hands to the small of your back and safely come back through shoulder stand. And then slowly lower your spine back down to your mat. When you arrive, draw your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a hug. Keep your right knee drawn in as you extend your left leg out long. Inhale in. Exhale, find a spinal twist to the left. Draw your knee across your body. You can tee out your arms as you take your gaze to the right. Try to keep your right shoulder glued down onto your mat and breathe deeply. Inhale in. As you exhale, make your way back into center. Draw both knees in towards your chest. And then we'll switch out legs. Keep the left knee drawn in as you extend your right leg long. Inhale in. Exhale, spinal twist to the right. Draw your knee across your body as you take your gaze to the left. Try to keep your left shoulder glued down on your mat to intensify the twist. And breathe here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw your knees back into center. Find a gentle rock side to side. And then place your hands on the backs of your thighs and find a rock and roll up and down the length of your mat about 3 times. On the 3rd time, coming up to a comfortable seat, stacking your head over your heart. You can keep your eyes closed here as we seal off our practice together today. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today and allowing me to guide you. Coming back to our mantra, when I choose love, I am love. So the more love that you give yourself, the more love that you have to share with others. Thank you so much again. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.